Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Today I'm taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice. Batman. This figure has been so long overdue that it's insane how long we've been waiting for a just traditional suit Ben Affleck Batman. And of course, it had to come long after he's no longer Batman anymore. But we finally got one, and I am going to get it right out of the way here. So I did have to switch out the neck peg because the original version of it, while it also was too tall on mine, it actually broke. So I ended up putting in just the new one. So the head actually does sit a little bit lower on this one right now than it did before. But, I mean, you guys know exactly what it looks like for that purpose anyway, because the neck peg was just way too big. And that's the only modification I've done to this figure. And it was, out of necessity. So... But other than that, let's just get right into it and get into this Ben Affleck Batman, because like I said, we've been waiting for this for so long. And the other versions that we've gotten from McFarlane Toys were the tactical suit and then that piss poor, just god-awful suit that we got in the Flash movie. And both of those figures actually are not great. This figure, however, other than switching the neck peg, honestly, I don't really have any gripes with this figure. Let's get into what he comes with. So as you can see on him right now, he comes with the fists, and these look really good. I do like these. They got some really solid detail on them as well. If this will focus. There we go. But yeah, you can see the wraps and the knuckles and all that stuff. They're unfortunately not painted gold when it comes to those or the boots or anything like that. We don't have the dry brushing of gold like he does have in the movie. But it's really not that big of a deal to me personally because, I mean, obviously I can do it and just get it over with myself and make it look more accurate. But I don't mind it being all black because I kind of can see it as this is what he goes on to look like. Like, the gold, like he gets new gauntlets and all that kind of stuff. Just, have him have more of a comic book look than he already has. He also comes with a pair of trigger finger hands, and these look really good. These are grip hands more so, but obviously they're trigger finger hands because they're, McFarlane, and he can't make anything other than trigger finger hands. But you do get the grapple gun, which is... It's not oversized, but it's definitely not the right size, I'll tell you that much. And it's not painted at all, obviously. I have been using the Mafex one with him because it actually kind of scales decently well with it. So that's just something of note. And then speaking of scaling, he comes with these really giant batarangs, which he comes with two of them. They aren't accurate at all because they're one cast in black. They're so thick. Like, this is a brick. Like, if you hit somebody with this, they're going to die. Which, obviously, he doesn't really care about killing in BVS, but still. Taking a look at the figure, just the presence of this right here, just beautiful. I love this. He looks like he's just going to tear through 20 people, Arkham style. And that's the best thing about Ben Affleck's Batman is that he really was like the epitome of the Arkham Batman, basically, in terms of his physicality. Taking a look at the head sculpt, I think it's pretty solid. I think that it leaves a little bit to be desired just because the tactical head, wherever that is, I don't know where that currently is sitting, but that head looks a little bit more like Ben Affleck. This one's not bad, but as is, I think it's not bad by any means. And he's got the beautiful texture all over the suit. He has dry brushing all over his suit, except for the back that they completely skimped on, which is annoying, and we shouldn't have to do that kind of stuff, but it's not something that really bothers me personally that much. Just because, like I said, it's something that's very easy for me to do. I know a lot of people don't want to have to do that, and I don't want to have to do that, but it's on the back of the figure. It's not really something that I'm going to be, looking at too terribly often, but it still shouldn't happen. His bat logo has all the scars and the scratches in it, which looks really good. I do love that. I kind of wish that they maybe had like a little bit of silver on that as well. That would have been kind of cool. I can't wait to see people do some repaints of this figure. I feel like it's going to look so good. Because, I mean, the gold that they're going to put on this and everything is just going to be beautiful for starters. The proportions of this guy are also really nice. Switching out the head peg and making his head sit a little bit lower, it fixes the figure in its entirety. Because originally, the head is way too tall. And then all the pictures they have of this figure, they have his shoulders down like this. So he just looks way too disproportionate, but you just gotta put his shoulders in the right place, and then you get his head in the right place, and he just looks like he's ready to throw down, and I love that. We finally got the belt painted gold on a Ben Affleck Batman because we have not had them. They just haven't done that on any of the other ones for whatever reason. And like I said, the texturing and all that stuff goes throughout the whole figure. The paint, however, does not. and his boots are all black, unfortunately, but for a lot of people. But like I said, for me, I don't really mind it. I actually kind of like it because he looks a little bit, you know, that much more comic accurate. And I do appreciate that. The only thing that's a huge bummer, I do love that he has the cloth cape, but they started giving us wired capes. Why couldn't he have been like the first one to have it? I mean, it's Ben Affleck's Batman, you know, he's a very important Batman, I feel like, to a lot of us, and I think it would have just been cool for him to come with a wired cape, especially because I have yet to get a McFarlane figure with a wired cape. I'm waiting for the Crisis on Infinite Earths wave to come out and actually ship to me, because a lot of people have gotten theirs, but I haven't gotten a shipping notification yet, and I can't wait for that because I want to see, because apparently that Superman has a wired cape, so hopefully, you know, that actually turns out well, and that they keep doing it going forward, because, I mean, wired capes on a domestic figure company is just unheard of, and who knows, maybe Hasbro will take a page out of McFarlane's book in that aspect. Maybe they'll start giving us wired capes, you know, here and there. Maybe like some deluxe figures will have them or something. That would be really cool. I don't think that'll happen, but like I said, it would just be so cool to get something like that. And then as for articulation, he's got pretty solid articulation. I haven't modified it or anything. There's only one piece of articulation that I do want to modify, and it's the hips, and you can kind of see why his legs kind of bow inward, so it would just give him a little bit more, you know, range, because he's not able to twist his legs, but if I could just get them to sit like that, he'd be perfectly fine. So I may have to carve out part of the bat butt cheeks a little bit to get him to do that, but the articulation is so solid. Goes up that far, goes down, not too terribly much, but enough, I feel like, for him to look down on people. A little bit of tilt, rotation, shoulders go up all the way, you know, rotate all the way around. He's got kind of the butterfly joint. You guys know what you're getting when it comes to McFarlane. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that go up all the way with ease, standard McFarlane joints for the wrists. His torso, you don't even have to modify it. It goes that far forward, which I think is perfect for Ben Affleck's Batman, and just perfect in general. So I'm totally good on that. Got the twist, you know, the rotation, all that good stuff at these. No thigh swivel or anything like that because of, like I said, the bat butt cheeks, which are a little too much. So I may carve out part of that so his legs can turn. But we'll just see. His legs can go up that far and back that far. Cutting into the plastic is definitely going to be able to give him a little bit more range. He's got double jointed knees that go up that far. And this is really when you can tell that there's no wash onto the rest of the figure, because it kind of gets a little noticeable when you bend the knee a little bit. But it's not bad. No boots or anything. Standard ankle joints, you know, go back that far, up that far. And of course, ankle pivot, as well as the toe joint, which is kind of stiff on mine, but you can get it up that far. And now onto some size comparisons. Here he is next to the Justice League Superman, and then the Wonder Woman from the Shazam Fury of the Gods, quote-unquote wave type thing, you know what I mean. And these three look great together. Superman's way too tall. I hate this figure. I really hope they give us a BVS version of him, because I think that they need to just completely overhaul this, because it's just, this is not a good figure. It's everything that McFarlane does wrong put into one figure, and it's so unfortunate because Henry Cavill deserves a really solid Superman figure, just like this Ben Affleck did. And then for some other theatrical Batman from McFarlane, we've got Clooney and Bale from the 5-pack, and I think these look really good together. I think Bale is obviously, he's weirdly proportioned because he looks big, he looks beefy. He does not look Ben Affleck big and beefy, like in how he actually, proportion-wise, they kind of look like they should be swapped. Because Ben Affleck's Batman looks big right here, and Christian Bale's, you know, his Batman's arms are a little bit big, but I think it's the torso that makes him look a lot thicker and wider, and he also looks a little bit taller, which is just inaccurate because, you know, Ben Affleck's Batman should just tower over them all. But I think this looks pretty good. I think once you get them into some poses and everything, I think that they'll look really nice together if you want to do some Batman multiversal shenanigans. And then here he is next to, from the other, you know, members of the 5-pack, we have the Michael Keaton Batman and the Val Kilmer, and I think these look great together as well. I just love seeing all of the different Batmen together. I think they look really good, and I think they stack up pretty well. I think, obviously, like I said, this Ben Affleck Batman, he just seems a little shorter than he should be, because he should be a lot taller than the rest of the Batman, but he scales well with the League. I think it's all right. And then last but not least, here he is next to Flash and Cyborg, and I think these three look really good together as well. I like seeing them in their comic book inspired suits. Obviously, Batman's is the best one, because Flash's is horribly inaccurate. Same with Victor's, but I think they look great for their universe that they're in. I unfortunately don't have Aquaman anymore. I did have the Lost Kingdom one, but I use parts of that to make a comic book Aquaman, which I might show off here relatively soon. So if you guys just badger me enough about that, I'll make a video on it. Overall, I think this figure is really solid. I love the fact that he has a cloth cape, and it's not even like a really low quality cape either. I think it's pretty decent. Obviously, I do want to switch out a wired cape on him at some point because he just deserves a wired cape. Switching out that neck peg, it just fixes the proportion issues beautifully. Absolutely love it. And the pushing the shoulders up to make him look, you know, even bigger and broader. This figure is just so good. The only gripe that I have, that something that I'm gonna have to actually customize and, you know, mod it properly, is the hips, back of the legs, whatever you want to call them, just because they do kind of bow inward a little bit and it gives him not a lot of range. But that's just me. Some people might not be too bothered by that, but I personally am, and I want to give him as much articulation as possible. So, but yeah, I think it's a pretty solid figure, and I can't wait to hopefully get more BVS stuff. I'd love to see the armored suit. Like I said, I really want a new Superman, and maybe they could make another Wonder Woman. I'd love a Doomsday. There's just so many different things from the Snyderverse that we have yet to get in figure form that I really would love to see. So yeah, that's going to do it for me, and I will catch you all in the next one. See ya.